Okay, here we are again. So, 6 different pillars of universe self-replication cosmology. Alan Guth's universe in a test tube idea being the first. It's kind of like, these boundaries between the different 6 methods aren't necessarily real clear, but Sean Carroll and Jennifer Chen in 2024, I think, roughly, come up with one that is, to me, a more practical, sensible, or believable, and perhaps actually happening method, where the universe creates baby universes as the old universe is essentially aging toward its heat death, and matter is so spread out, and even all the black holes have evaporated, and there's hardly nothing left. And formally, technically, in the laws, in the math, it's called de Sitter space, which is essentially space that has no mass, no matter. And that is critically, that is a contradiction, and I'm big on the significance and importance of contradictions in reality. I think that they are at the root of reality. And I'm not going to talk about that. Go to my paradox post, Paradox of Huxley's Islet. And that's where I discuss it at length. So de Sitter space has no mass, and yet space itself, as far as I can glean from the physics, is a property that mass generates, and essentially is not independent of mass. So when mass is so diffused that there's no more, it's so spread out that like you can't even hardly find a single particle left in a lot of, in a huge volume of space. Well, it turns out that in that condition, Sean Carroll and Jennifer Chen showed that the space sort of naturally degenerates or becomes favorable for the tunneling into what's called a false vacuum, which is the same thing that Alan Guth's method talks about. Degenerates into a false vacuum that triggers the initiation of a new baby universe. So it happens in like the most empty void of space. Doesn't require super high energy and high technology, although high technology might be most useful to try to create very pure vacuums in a laboratory. And you might find that that will just generate a new universe. The purer the vacuum. At least that's the hypothesis of Carroll and Chen. So you can call that universe in a test tube if you do it that way in the lab, or you can call it a natural process that happens most likely at the end of the universe, or most often at the end of the universe, but also could happen in, I speculate, in the emptiest cosmic voids. We have cosmic voids now, and there are big gaps and getting bigger as the universe expands between the filaments and tendrils and clusters of galaxies. And, just the biggest scale structures in the universe have these voids, as well as the structures that have galaxies in them. So maybe in those voids, well before we have absolutely no space or no matter left, maybe the universe can, sort of naturally self-replicate there. And they do this self-replicating sort of within the framework of the existing universe, so that the baby universe adopts or is given the DNA, the laws of physics and constants that we have in our physical universe. and perhaps with mutations. Okay, I'm going to stop again.